This is a maple syrup-based economy. We run our cars on it. Planes, trains, automobiles, you name it. It's time for me to employ the butter trick. If you've never seen this before, you put this around the edge. I'm going to show you in 1 second.
Yeah, if you want some tips and tricks on making maple syrup at home from a real live Canadian.
Yeah, let's go, man. Let's go.
Then this is definitely the video you want to watch. I've been making it for years here in the Canadian forest.
Look at that stuff, though, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's better than Aunt Jemima right there, buddy.
You better believe it. As far as we're concerned up here, Aunt Jemima can take a long walk off a short pier. So let me show you how I do it.
And that's just a big solid mess of burnt sugar. And hey, I like that. I'm finally starting to finish some syrup. This is just the first batch, but hey, you got to start somewhere. Already got her at a rolling boil. I got my trusty thermometer at the ready. I'm starting to get all the accoutrement. Just took the lid off. I got my little strainer rig. I got cheesecloth. I got some things to catch that finished syrup in. I got some jars ready to rock and roll. I just got to clean those out with hot soapy water. I'm just sorting through some lids and some rings and getting started. Since she's coming up to temp, it's time for me to employ the butter trick. If you've never seen this before, you put this around the edge. I'm going to show you in 1 second. But then the syrup can't climb up over the fat in that butter. So all it is literally just doing that around that hot edge and getting some all the way around. And then no matter what happens, even as things progress here, that syrup's never going to be able to boil over. Once the moisture starts to diminish in there and the sugar content goes up, the bubbles get smaller and you're going to see it's going to want to boil over. This prevents it from doing that. All right, have a look. See the alarm there? 219 set on my thermometer. That is the point at which this sap is going to become syrup. So all I got to do is chuck that probe in. Okay, and now we'll get a reading and we're going to see where we actually are at right now. We're already at the actual boiling point. Okay, that's where water boils, is 212. But we need it quite a bit higher than that. We're looking for 7 more degrees. And 7 degrees might not sound like much, but trust me, it's going to take quite a while. And almost forgot my fan. See this giant, tall fan here? I'm a huge fan. It really builds up. All the steam really builds up in the kitchen. Look at that. That's just from like a couple of minutes. So yeah, you want that blowing out, and I got windows open over this way. All right, I'm just prepping some lids and some rings for this batch, and I want to give you a real quick tip on reusing rings and lids. Now, if you've done any home canning at all, you know that once you've put a lid, specifically, the rings you can reuse no matter what, but once you've put a lid through a water bath and you've done proper canning with it, it's done. You shouldn't reuse it. That little rubber seal on the back really does get beat up, and they're no longer safe to use. But you can reuse them if they've not been through the water bath. So I'm just going through some old ones. All these are from old syrup batches. My syrup doesn't get water bath. Obviously, you sterilize it for hours and hours at a time when you're boiling it down. So every single one of these that I know is from syrup or sugar. See that one? That was from sugar from 2020, and it's just sitting in the bottom. The ring is perfectly good. The seal is perfect, etc. I can reuse those for syrup or sugar. I got a little fridge jalapeno garlic sauce that never got canned. Look at that. Perfect lid. I saw some in here from, yeah, look at those. Yellow morels right there. Those were just dehydrated mushrooms. I can reuse that one. So, yeah, you want to make sure they're in good shape, and I'll inspect them all and make sure that the seal is going to be good regardless. I don't want my syrup molding out. But this is, like, a big part of the sustainability picture. In our society, we tend to just throw everything away, get a new one. If I can recycle, reuse it, upscale it, etc., I'm gonna, and so should you, so should everyone. Beautiful. Look at those little puppies right there. Just saved myself almost a whole new box, right? I don't have to buy one. Plus, I'm not throwing this stuff in the trash or the recycling, right? And they're all going to get sterilized again. You're going to see they're going into boiling water right now. But I didn't have to buy them, and I'm not throwing them into some freaking landfill somewhere. And I figure I'm probably going to finish 6 to 8 liters. I lost count, as I always do, as I'm boiling away, But there's 8 there in case I hit the max, okay? Those will all get boiled down. And those are ready for sterilization. And just in case you're not coming over from my Instagram and you haven't seen my little filtration rig yet, this is my first little sugar making video here on YouTube. I've done lots of them over there on the other platform. In case you haven't seen it, I'll walk you through it. I'm just about to set this up. The whole thing starts out with this cheesecloth, which I reuse many, many times. I think this particular batch of cheesecloth is on its like third season, maybe fourth. They all get washed at the end of the filtration process and sterilized in boiling water, then put away. So you can reuse that cheesecloth over and over, and that's what takes all the little particles out. And this here is an upcycled old colander. Look, it was missing a handle here. And I just jammed that into this. I think this was some kind of like oven element thing or a barbecue thing. But anyway, that just sits on there. It's on there real good. And the cheesecloth goes inside that. And that's what I strain the hot syrup throughout to get all the niter sand and other stuff out of it. And this little thing just sort of allows me to, you know, throw it over a receptacle. I like these little Pyrex bowls that have a spout. I can pour it out of there into the jars that I'm storing them in. And it just goes on top. Just about to set that all up now. Check it out. And nothing to this, just pulling that super duper clean cheesecloth out of that sterile bag. I always like to put a little extra on the bottom, right? Just a little something to grab a few extra particles. And then I just start taking little layers, like doubled up layers or tripled up layers, and close pegging them to the edge of this thing, and that holds them on. Okay, you'll get the idea. Right there, beautiful. Okay. So you normally just sort of get that set, and then I'll put another layer on. Check it out. There's one, and then I'll lay in another one like this. Close peg that on all four corners and make sure there's no little spots where it can run out. And I put, 2 or 3 layers on there, and I've got lots. I'll change that as it goes if it gets really dirty. Just depends how good a job I did at skimming it while I was going along boiling. But that's a beauty little filter, man. That'll all go down. Take all the niter sand, or most of it anyway, and all the little bits of leaves and forest detritus, etc. you get when you're boiling outside, and that'll all take all that out. Now have a look at this business. Look, it's gone down almost an inch already, and it's been boiling for a good, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour, and we're still at 212. So you can see this takes a minute, man. It takes a good long time, but it's coming. And I'd say about another hour or so has gone by. Look at that. We've lost another inch. And check out those bubbles getting tighter and tighter. Sugar content rising. And sure enough, I'll bet you if we look at the thermometer, we got 217. We're like 2 degrees off the syrup, man. I'm going to start getting my poop in a group. I'm going to start washing all these jars with hot soapy water and getting all this stuff sterilized. Prep these guys, gotta sterilize them. Those are going on the stove. All right, moment of truth. Look, she's squawking at me. There's 219. That, my friends, is freaking syrup. It's hot and ready. Time to filter. All right, let's pull this fan. Okay, I don't need that cool air there anymore. In fact, I want to keep it hot now. All right, I've got a few Pyrex bowls ready, and it's time to start filtering this stuff. Yeah, let's go, man. Let's go. Okay, let's see. It's probably pretty close. Yeah, I like it. I like what's happening. I might have to do a quick change here. Shit, I think I put too much. Let's see. I don't know if you can see that straightened through, but it's getting real full, buddy. Ah, shit, I think I'm gonna be very close here. I'm gonna wait it out. It's full, but that's looking good. Okay, I definitely overfilled that. I have to move this really slow or else it's gonna go everywhere because it's so full. I'm gonna put a few drips on the damn. Oh no, I got it. All right, dude. Yeah, that was actually a freaking power move right there. I didn't spill any. Hey, it's almost like I planned it. And check out this power move. I'm gonna put a little extra layer of filtration so that stuff on the bottom is really dirty now. Rather than pulling it all out and everything, what I do is try and catch the vast majority of it on subsequent layers, and it always works out pretty good. I never have a ton of gross shit in my syrup, but I am gonna double filter. And I'll tell you another thing, that the bottom of these pots usually has the most niter sand and stuff in it. So that's cool, daddy though. Let's get that through while it's hot. It goes through better and filters better when it's hot. So let's make sure. Oh, wait a second. She's a little off kilter. Wait. I'm going to mix some on that side. There we go. Beautiful. Oh yeah, she's running, man. It's gonna go a little slower with these additional layers of cheesecloth, but that's okay. The important thing is to have nice, clean syrup. Oh, it smells amazing. I wish you could smell this. Let's see, we'll start there for now. Hold on. And I gotta start getting this into jars, man. All right. All right, I overfilled that Pyrex bowl so much, I'm having to ladle it out. I couldn't find my good ladle, and I can't find my canning gloves. So I'm gonna have to grab a pair of gloves because that bowl is so freaking hot. With bare hands, I won't be able to do it. So I'm gonna take a whole jar out of here. Look at that stuff though, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's better than Aunt Jemima right there, buddy. And then I'm gonna start going en masse here, but for the moment, I just need to get some out of there because I super duper overfilled that. That was not smart. I can put a little bit more. And you don't have to respect the 1/2 inch like you do in canning because we're not water bathing this. It's not gonna go snake on us. All right, and our lids are good to go right at the right time. Rock and roll. There's a ring. Woo, that's hot. Give me a lid, give me a lid. All right, let's get a lid on that little guy. These are sterile and I don't want to touch them too much with my bare hands, etc. But that's all I need right there. Nice. Rock and roll. Okay, we're not dripping. There's a nice sterile lid on there. Rock and roll. One down. I don't know how many to go. I'd say 7 or 8 more anyway. Could not find my canning gloves. Those are actually camo hunting gloves. So, not ideal, but that's okay. Now, with any luck, this should go a lot easier. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's still super hot through the gloves, man. That's like burning my hands. Okay, there's another one. Beautiful. Get some lids. Whew. Yes. Okay, there we go. Tighten them up a little bit later. Let's rock and roll here, buddy. Oh, man, that thing is hot. That thing is freaking hot, buddy. I'll put that one back down under. Hold on. 1 second, little homie. I gotta go while it's hot. The whole key here is to get this whole part done while the syrup is hot. And not only does it strain better, it pours better and everything. I overfilled that one too. I'm really just crushing it right now, but you know, it is like almost midnight by the time this is all ready to go, and I'm freaking tired, man. Something like that's gonna be cool, Daddy-O. Right there, buddy. Beautiful. Oh, that's hot. It's so freaking hot, dude. But that's how it's gotta be. You want them sterile, you want them clean. That's how they keep on the shelf forever. There's a little bit left in the bottom here. Actually, that's a whole jar probably. And I need to get it through that stuff while it's hot. Oh, there we go. Shit, I spilled some. Like a smart guy. There's a few there. My camera's getting sticky, but that's alright. I'm not even going to use the canning funnel. That's how much confidence I have in this Pyrex bowl at this moment. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to swap that out before the other one gets too full. Hold on, we're almost there, buddy. Oh, that's probably not in frame for you guys. Sorry, guys. 1 second. We're getting there. We're getting there. Ah, shit, I should have put the canning funnel. Flew too close to the sun. Getting cocky. There you go. Okay, you're over here, buddy. You can see it's starting to slow down. It's because it's cooling and it's just taking a lot longer to get through there. But look at all that black stuff coming out of there. That's all niter sand and impurities, etc. And this isn't like a crazy, there are vacuum filtration systems and way more advanced things. This doesn't do a super duper job compared to those systems, but it's good enough that, you know, you maybe get a little bit of sediment in the bottom of a jar here and there over time, you know, 3 years later when you use it, but you know, you lose a teaspoon. For the amount of time and effort and investment it is to get one of those systems, this is just fine for me. Just giving her a little squoosh. Trying to make a little point for it to run out because it's getting stuck in there. The filter is getting really, really full, clogged up with stuff, and that's okay. But I don't want to waste that a little bit. There's a little bit on top, and sometimes you just make a little divot in there. It'll go through a little better. All right, that's close enough for rock and roll. Let me just put that off to the side a little bit. I'll catch all those last drips. I'll use every last one, trust me. And let's see if we can fill this jar. I'm not 100 per on this, but it's pretty damn close. Oh yeah, buddy. Come on. Come on, buddy. You got it. Yeah, look at that. There's 7 liters. I love it. Woo. Perfect. Okay, and that worked. I said I thought I had between 6 and 8 liters. Guess what? I got 7 liters. That worked out perfect, man. There's the other one there. Nice. All right, kitchen's all spick and span, except for this. I do this every single time I make syrup. I don't take the very bottom ones. You remember those ones in the bottom? Those are freaking nasty. That's all niter sand and badness in there. But there's still a lot of good syrup in this bit here. And I'll just let that hang and drain out and get a whole bunch of extra coffees or whatever. I don't know if you know this, but I put maple syrup in my coffee every single day. Either homemade maple syrup or homemade maple sugar. It's the only way to go. But this stuff here is valuable. And I like eating it, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm in a rush and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired, what I might do sometimes on a whim, and I've done it this way before, is just squeeze that little sumbitch. Now you're going to get some niter sand and stuff in this. This is why it's like kind of not great for pancakes and stuff. But nothing wrong with that for coffees or sweetening anything really. And see, I'm just giving that a squeeze. I'll give you, once I wash my hands, I'll do a little pan in there and show you just how much is coming out of there. It's a lot, man. It's a whole little jar of like the super black, you know? And also it makes it easier for me to clean this cheesecloth. And there you go. Now those are ready to be cleaned. I got a bunch of extra syrup, and now I just got to figure out a way to turn on my tap because I don't want to touch it. All right, I'm just washing that guy out a little bit. We're almost done here, and I can almost go to bed. But what a great little rig. Honestly, like, this thing freaking rules, man. Like, who thought of that? Oh, I did, because it's pretty freaking cool, dude. And now that cheesecloth gets a little preliminary rinse, and watch how much comes out of this, man. It's just freaking, like, almost black in there. Now, this is going to get sterilized, like, literally boiled, but I like to, you know, give it a nice wash. Before it even gets to that stage, it'll get soap, it'll get everything laundry gets, and then it'll get boiled and put back into that bag all the pieces that are still usable. And again, those very bottom ones got chucked. And there you have it, 7 liters. I got all this prime grade A stuff and the dregs. Man, that's a good little haul. And this is all the syrup I'm making this year. All the rest of the sap that I have that's already mostly boiled down is going to be sugar. Am I right? Tasty dregs. And just before I go to bed, I want to show you why I'm not making more syrup. I've got 6 liters left from last year. I got one I found way in the back from 2023, and I've got some birch syrup. So I'm going to be all set. That's like 14 and some liters for the year. If I have 12, that's enough.
And folks, my apologies. This video was intended to be both maple syrup and maple sugar finishing. But as you can see here, for the first time in all the years I've been making maple sugar, the process failed in spectacular fashion. It was like a slow motion train wreck that just kept getting worse. The long story short is both my digital thermometer and my blender failed. I'm going to show you a little bit of that right now rather than trying to explain it. Here are some very disappointing lowlights. Well, this super sucks, man. I've been futzing with this thing and messing with the wire and trying to plug it in and out, and I've reset it a bunch of times. I cannot get a reading off it, so we're going old school, man. In the old days, it was just you stirred it until it started to crystallize, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it in the modern way with a goddamn mixer. All right, guys, we got a huge problem. I turned her off for a second, and I was stirring away, and I don't know what happened here, but now not only is the thermometer down, the goddamn mixer went down. This is a disaster. Look at it, it's risen up. It's super foamy and almost ready, man. You can see, watch when you see it almost there? I'm gonna have to hand bomb this all the way to the end, which I have never done. Look at, she just will not respond. And I've tried to unstick it. I pulled the things out. Give me 1 second, but I gotta deal with this. So I think I have to start hand bombing it.
This is an unmitigated disaster. Oh man, it's still not going. I'm getting super bummed, man. Like, that sugar is burned, man. It's never been that dark. Like, it looks like freaking chocolate. Man, this blows. You know what? I just tasted it. It's getting a little bit bitter. Even a lot bitter. I don't know if that's salvageable, man. Third pro. Yeah, it's just an absolute disaster. This could not have gone worse. Well, I've been stirring this for literally almost an hour and a half, and it's still liquid. I think I never got to the temperature. I think it's burned. It's bitter. I don't know what the hell else to do. It's an unmitigated disaster. This has never happened before. I think I need to just like pour it into another thing, look at this in the cold light of morning, and probably just ditch it. I realize that's probably really anticlimactic. I'm super sorry, but like, I'm so bummed. It's days and days and days of effort and boiling. Like, go back and watch the other videos, like all the work it took to get to this point. If you've never seen this process before and you're just sort of like looking in because you're curious, watch the videos, see how much time and effort it takes to get to this point. The probe for this thermometer has failed a couple of times already. This is the third failure with this thing. I think they sent me one time, and then I just gave up trying to contact them and actually bought another one, and this one is now failing. The other times it was during the boiling process where I was using the thermometer outdoors and I was nowhere near finishing, so it was lucky, right? Like, it's mission critical at this stage of the game. You really need to know how hot that syrup is, or how hot that sap is. Like, what point is it that you can pull it off the heat so it doesn't burn, so you can crystallize it? I don't think I ever reached that point. I've never had anything that looked like that after that amount of time, and that looked like chocolate, and that tasted like shit. I'm actually getting angry now. Anyway, I'm at a loss. I don't know what else to do. It's 2:30 in the morning. I'm freaking cross-eyed. I'm so tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna look at this in the cold, hard light of morning and make an executive decision, but I think this batch is fucked. And as I feared, she's wrecked, man. It's the next day. I looked at it in the morning, almost cried. I don't think it ever got to that temperature. Look, it never fully solidified. It's like some kind of gooey mess that I don't know what I'm going to do with. I'm going to give it another shot. I'm going away actually on a little trip, but you can see with 100% certainty, it never reached 262. That would be rock solid if that were the case. Thermometer screwed me. It is what it is. It's very sad. And that's just a big solid mess of burnt sugar. It is strangely beautiful though, in its own weird and wonderful way. You know what it tastes like? It tastes like burnt marshmallow. I kind of like that flavor. Maybe I'll keep it. Maybe I'll do something with it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. But that's it.
Folks, thanks for hanging out to the end of the video. Giant maple sugar fail aside, I hope you learned something new about making maple syrup, and maybe got a few ideas about doing it DIY on the cheap at home if you ever do decide to try. Make sure to go back and watch part 1 if you haven't already. It's a very interesting video and one of the best I've made on the subject. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Chuck a like on here, and I will see you next week at 7 p.m. Yeah, that's right, I do weekly videos on hunting, fishing, foraging, organic gardening, and home cooking. Cheers.